It's The Last Stand. And here is your host, Brian Custer.
That's right. It is The Last Stand, where we bring you the biggest names in the sport. And when you talk about the sport of boxing, the 154-pound division, the biggest name, the top fighter in that division is known as Twin Charlo. He is the unified, the lineal champion of the world, none other than Jermell Charlo. He's got 3 of the 4 belts. Mel, welcome back to The Last Stand.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
Great to have you back on, man. So here we go. March 19th, you were supposed to have the rematch with Brian Castano for the undisputed championship of the world. This is a fight that was supposed to happen February 26th. It gets pushed back to March 19th. And now all of a sudden, he messes up his bicep, and they say it takes at least 4 weeks to heal, things of that nature. Just your thoughts when you got word that Castano got injured and said, listen, I got to postpone the fight.
Well, my first thing, I think like a fan too. You know, I love boxing. Boxing, one of my favorite sports. So the first thing I thought about was like, this BS. Straight up. Nothing else could tell me this is more BS than BS. But first off, they have a manager who's a trickster, you know, a very, very big trickster. And he plays a game where he the same guy that tried to play the Madonna trick on Floyd Mayweather. The same guy that came to the commissioners before I fought Castano and said, "Hey, your gloves are wrong." And, that's his manager. But let me tell you, he was highly intoxicated. They barely could keep him under control. They got him under control, and then then all of a sudden, I ain't said this to nobody in the world. I haven't done an interview with nobody ever. I don't do interviews too much because people get my words misconstrued, and then I've learned. Now I'm 31 years old. When I started doing interviews, I was 20 something. I started boxing at 17 professionally, but now I'm here, and I'm just thinking to myself like, you know what? That's the game they play. When you're a tough guy and you don't care what nobody thinks or says, automatically they're gonna put you in there. Hey, Charlo won't even care because he's a warrior. Yeah, I'm a warrior. Of course, I'm a warrior. But now I think outside the box. I asked for legal drug testing. I asked them to drug test on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden on I think a Thursday, he pulls out the fight. I was told to be quiet. Sorry, I can't be quiet. Can't be quiet when you holding all of these belts in the back and you know your life is on the line and your family cares and everybody that is around you care. So then I started thinking like, hold on, I must speak up. I said, you know what, it's gonna be all right. I got an interview with Brian Custer coming soon, and I'm gonna let it all out. I'm gonna let him know how I feel. So I'm not here to down or diss nobody. I'm just here to speak facts. And from the beginning, I already knew it was a problem. The last fight that I had with him back July 17, 2021, we only drug tested one time. And that was before I asked, I asked one of Al Heyman's advisors or people that represent Al Heyman. I say, hey, why aren't we being drug tested this whole camp? The whole camp, nobody came. You know what they told me? They said, hey, Charlo, you were supposed to request for that a month ago. Never have I requested for a drug test. Months and months go by. Rosario fight, Lubin fight, my whole career being number one in the WBC. WBC, I'm mad at y'all. Because y'all said y'all a clean sport. And if anybody fight for y'all titles, y'all gonna make sure they protect it. I'm not. I don't care what they do. I'm a warrior. I'm a lion. We gonna eat what we eat. Sometimes the blood ain't as good as we want it to be, but you know what? I want a fair shake in the boxing world. And we barely drug tested for the last fight. They still complain about my gloves. They making me come out and talk like this. Now we deep in camp. I'm sparring, I'm training, I'm getting my tour bus out here, getting it all wrapped up so I can go back and forth to Dallas to train with my coach. I'm just doing everything I can, spending my money on sparring partners, training. One of my guys, one Guzman, he's in town. I have Derek James coming in and out of town. We all spending money. We all taking a risk and a chance for our career. Derek told me the other day. Derek say, Jermell, don't follow these conspiracy theories. And I say, you know what? You might be right. Let me relax. I'm very upset. I'm hurt. I felt like I was in trouble. I felt the guilt of every type of way I could feel just because I felt like I let so many people down. But now all of a sudden he's hurt. But I'm Lions only, baby, and we're gonna have them fans and we're gonna have them scouters and those plotters and all of those people out to do their job. He's training. He's trying to use one hand like he's not using the other hand. But he's working out. He's doing videos. He's showing out. I'm trying to find it right quick. He's doing videos showing out that he training. Unfortunately, those people don't even know how to keep their nose clean because they would have never posted him training. You know, these are videos of Brian Castano. He at the park. He working out. But if your bicep, and it's the right bicep that's injured, it's the right arm completely because I realized the one that he didn't have a glove on. So he working out, he doing all of this training. This is from his coach. So y'all need to follow him, Brian Castano, because that's the one that exposes you, your own people. You know, and I'm upset about that because y'all wanted me to sit down and be quiet and then not train and worry about a fight coming up. They want me to be quiet and not say nothing about all of these things, but behind the scenes, before I knew it was a month approaching, so I contacted a bunch of people and I said, hey, can y'all please make sure y'all doing the proper drug testing? Now, I've spoken with Al Heyman yesterday personally. He said, hey, drug testing will be heavy and it will be in depth. So I trust Al. Al is my guy. He's never failed me. And if you know Al personally, like I know him, he leads you to the victory. That's it. So at the end of the day, we're gonna go in, try to knock him out when we can. I don't have a date. I don't have a time. I don't know when I'm fighting. But right now, this is like a fighter's at the beginning. I feel like a fighter that just started the game. Like we 0-0, and I'm trying to build my career up. I don't have someone paying me monthly to take care of. Thanks, shout out to ASRV. I don't have somebody paying me monthly to take care of me. I take care of myself, and I'm good. Thank God for the fights that I've already put in. But to jump right back into it, I don't understand why I never get a fair shake. Tony Harrison, he pulled out the fight. When I had my loss, Tony Harrison pulled out the fight over an ankle injury. He goes online and do a bunch of interviews and he can't keep his nose clean either. He admits that he faked the injury. He never had surgery. And of course, Brian Castano's injury isn't surgery um a component for surgery. It doesn't need surgery. Okay. So now it's about healing process. But he's still working out and running. He's swinging that right arm that supposedly he didn't use to train. He's swinging it, and I hate to be the guy to pull up things because I gotta stay artifacts. Me watching Brian Castano, I got fans. Fans are gonna tag me in things. Fans are gonna let my team know this is all BS. They want to see the fight just like I want to fight. So I got videos right now of Brian Castano using the left arm, only the left arm, throwing hooks. But the right arm, he's not using it. He's keeping it stable. And I know if you have a slightly torn bicep, you would have it taped up, wrapped up. Don't go tape it now, Brian. Ain't no point in taping it now after I already recognize it. So, but I'm happy. You know what? I'm a warrior. I'm ready to fight whenever they can.
Let me ask you this, Mel. I think the key question is, A, do you believe that he really injured his right bicep, or is it B, do you have a feeling that maybe it's because you have a suspicion of PED use?
Well, I have a several. Um, these guys are from Argentina. Not to talk bad about an Argentina champion or a warrior. Anybody that steps in the ring is a warrior to me. Anybody that steps in the ring for their family is doing what they can. But when you know the risk is very high and your reward might be a little bit low, you'll try to find every type of way to take an advantage, And if you can't beat me that way, you'll try to beat me this way. If you can't beat me that way, you'll beat me this way. So he ain't taller than me. The reach ain't longer than me. We the same age. We weigh the same. I'm literally thinking logical. And so I'm losing my mind trying to figure it out, and that's why my coach said don't believe in the conspiracy theory, but I'm believing like a warrior. I'm believing like a real lion in this situation. So it's like I don't believe he did PD, and if he did, he's gonna. You could take steroids for 6 months, 6 weeks, and let that go through your system. Rehydrate, wash it out, get it clear before they start testing you. I asked to be tested more than once in this situation with Brian Castano. I've spoken out about us being tested. I'm a clean fighter and I represent only clean fighters. So if you treated me, it's going whatever's done in the dark gonna hit the light. So that's one thing. I believe personally he didn't sustain the injury that he did. Um, sparring partner here from the Woodworks ain't nowhere on that level I'm on. He should never even been sparring with him. You need to go find another sparring partner because the homeboy he sparring we can't mess with the half of a fighter that I am. So, and I'm gonna knock him out if he ever get in the ring with me. But we could be sparring partners. I'll spar with him, but only if he look good. And I'm talking to the Virgil kid. The Virgil kid ain't never had no skills like me. I got this from God. Virgil or whatever, I don't know what the name of the guy. I know his name is Ortiz or something like that. He can't
Virgil
box
Ortiz.
nowhere close to the skills that I got. Terrell Gershey look, he can't beat Lubin. He need to rematch Lubin. The junior welterweight division is all jacked up. But there's only one king in the division. We know who he is. We looking right at him. We see him, but I'm only speaking facts of who I really am. So I know I might seem a little comical to you, but I'm very serious because I'm speaking with my heart because these guys aren't putting in this hard work, with all this climate change. I'm getting a chance to experience the cold weather when I go running now. It's a lot of things that I believe in that these people don't ever understand. They got to wake up their minds. They only using 5% of their brain. I'm using at least 12. They say a human uses only 10. But I feel like in boxing, I'm really using all of my tactics and traits that I have. Brian Castano was not, to me, injured. He might be personally. This is how I personally feel. He overweight. He can't make the weight. He's going to be hard to make this weight. He's going to drain himself. And then all of a sudden, you come out of nowhere with a right bicep injury. But when you running, you striding. You using your arms. I just showed y'all the video. Slow it down. He's striding. That's the same bicep that you hurt. But Paco is the WBC president, WBO, sorry, WBO president. I ain't got no relationship with them at all. But I'm trying to get their belt because I'm fighting under the 4-belt era. And I wish I didn't have to go that direction. But I would be an undisputed champion as of right now because I got the linear champion. I'm not all the other champions. And I see all the little young guys, the little small guys want to come up and fight with me. And I understand it. So right now, I'm doing everything I can. I know Paco went and said that if the fight don't happen, it's because of Team Castano. I'm only giving y'all artifacts of what I know from what's been happening to me in the last couple of days. So y'all the first interview I've done in the last maybe 15 months, 18 months. I don't do interviews too much because of look, I sound like a problem. I sound like you can't even talk to me, Brian. You barely even said any words to me. I'm trying my best to let y'all talk and ask the questions, but I have to express what I got on my heart. So I feel personally like man is not injured. I feel like he's capped. He all capped. and I'm hurt by it. I'm not. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm still training. I'm still posting videos of me working out. Don't nobody's let down on the lines only. One day I'll be a promoter, and I hope I end up getting fighters that have my same drive and passion for the sport of boxing, because I don't want the sport of boxing to be let down. I'm gonna give it all I got, and I know, I'm, there's other fighters that's great out there. But sorry, Brian, go ahead. Do your thing, baby.
No, I was going to say, but have you gotten any indication if there will be a rematch between you and Castano? Will the fight be put back together? Because I know there are a number of the sanctioning bodies who want you guys, want you because you got 3 of the belts to fight your mandatories. So will you fight Castano next, or will it have to be one of your mandatories and win?
Well, I got a very clear understanding with IBF. Those are the main people push up for the mandatory. The mandatory has already stepped aside and accepted his bread that he received, and he's understood. I'm gonna knock him the fuck out if I have to, but I want it very clear to understand that I'm not here to fight my mandatories. It's all about making legacies and making dreams come true. And if I have to fight a mandatory, I would fight a mandatory. But we have to find out what's up with the BS. And this is the second time it's happened to me, so I got experience now. So the mandatory, he is there. He is in the way a little bit. I appreciate the IBF for being able to coincide with my management and his management. And I appreciate the guy that's the mandatory. I don't know his name. I'm frankly never seen him fight before. I know he fought him on undercard, but I appreciate him for giving me an opportunity to try to become a legend and become pound for pound eventually. But I don't think that the mandatories are in the way of any sort. I don't want to fight a mandatory. I want to go straight into a fight with a champion. And if it's one belt left, it only logically makes sense to go ahead and attack that one belt. So I don't, God forbid I have to fight a mandatory. I wouldn't be interested in that fight. I hope they pay me twice or triple, quadruple as much money as I would fight to fight him. But
Yeah. So let me ask you then. People will ask this question. The first time you guys fought, it ended in a draw. You both had some really good moments in that fight. People will say, "Oh man, he rocked Charlo in that fight." Why will the second fight be different?
well, first off, let me explain this to you. He did get a good shot in. He didn't rock me, you know what I mean? Every boxer will say, "Oh, no, 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 no." I have actually really, really watched this fight. Um, what he actually did was got his best shot off. And it was a clean shot. It was flush on the face, but it wasn't necessarily a shot that's made me feel like, woo, I got to get this guy some different respect. You know what I did do? I made an adjustment right away and said, hey, let's get on our bike. Let's fight from the outside. Let's be smart. So the crowd, I love y'all. Y'all did an amazing job. I love the support that the fans give me. I love the support that they don't give me. But the crowd seems to me in this fight particularly that they made a big statement. How they showed out and how they came. If they wanted war, and I wanted to give them war, I wanted to be active. I'm not afraid of no man. Nobody's ever hurt Brian Castano. I hurt him more than he hurt me. The draw, to me, is bullshit. I should have won that fight just like I had the first fight wrapped in the belt. I'm sick of doing myself that way. I'm sick of not being able to, your car say 220. I'm tired of not taking the car to 220 because I'm afraid if the engine gonna blow. Not even if the engine gonna blow. The engine, this engine ain't gonna never blow. Cause that's why we toot that train before we fight. We're a train. We not no engine that's like a little car. So what I'm saying is, I feel like I didn't give myself, the best of me, because I'm very preserved. I'm very, you know, patient, not trying to just go crazy. This the fight that I think that like I want to get tired, to push myself as much as I can to get tired. I feel like I didn't do enough. Um, he had his spurt of the moments where he threw punches, but you got to make smart decisions. Do you go in there? Do you hit him? Do you go in there and try to throw a combination and trade with him? Or do you get back on the outside and outsmart him where he can't? He's not athletic like me. He don't have the athleticism to move around the ring and box and punch at the same time. So I feel like I just made some bad choices. And I feel like that's what led the draw. It wasn't in the crowd, them listening to the crowd. I wish these judges could put headphones on or something that can noise cancellation so where they can really focus on what's really going on in the ring. There's a lot of times where I'm I'm moving my head, I'm slipping punches, catching here, I'm punching, boom, boom, boom. And I'm different. I'm different with my hands. I got paws. I got real big claws on me. So they act like a scratch can't draw blood. You know, I'm a lion, baby. A scratch from a lion can draw blood. I throw a jab at the man, a simple jab, boom, it hurt him. Nobody say shit about that. You know, they got to really, really go back and critique the fight. One time I did a show and they set me down and I had to slow the fight down. How about Showtime come out of nowhere and do that episode with me? Slow this fight down and let me judge it. And then you come back and let Brian Castano judge it. And then if you ask him at the end of the night who won that fight, you going to say Jermell Charlo. Then what we going to do? Have a whole big, Jermell should have won the fight? I don't got time for that. I'm a warrior. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to do a lot of different. You ain't getting me on the ropes. That's done. I thought, okay, be comfortable, fight off the ropes. I had a lot going on at that time. My son was in my room sleeping with me the night of the fight because that's
You
what
had
I
a
wanted.
newborn. Wasn't it like 2
A
weeks?
newborn.
2 weeks or like 2 weeks old or something like
2
that?
weeks before the fight. And then I felt like I might as well take him into the fight with me. But I didn't take him to the fight with me. I took him in the fight mentally with me. My baby almost 9 months, 10 months old now. So now, hey, it's a different ball field. I could give my all, my sleep, my rest, and my focusedness to my son. They fucked up just off of that. They can't even mess with me just off of the fact that I get more sleep right now. And I know Brian Castano probably out here working hard, trying to train, taking steroids or whatever the fuck he got to do. That ain't gonna benefit him. He making complaints. If anybody was gonna pull out of a fight, it was gonna be me. I was sick about 3 weeks ago. I ain't tell nobody. I ain't tell nobody I was sick. I fought that and kept it moving. I ain't finna go and ruin my fight. I'm gonna fight this fight, no matter what come. So if something happened, right now, to this very day, I've been going back and forth to court for custody battle for my son, my 12-year-old son. The world don't need to know that. They don't need to know what hey, just know I'm working hard. I got real life I'm dealing with too. But you won't see me pulling out of a fight or making 2 weeks or 3 weeks come and then I can't fight. No, that's not fair to me. But in real life, I am who I am. They all consider me bleed an angry male, the angry twin, the angry whoever. No, I'm a happy person on the inside, on the outside. I love who I love, and if I don't love you and I don't give you the respect, that's because you don't deserve it just yet. So I'm patient with that. Brian Castano, he running up, he barking up that enemy trait, and I want to treat him like an enemy. And so when I fight him, that's the only thing on my mind. I don't want to fight nobody else. I hear y'all Argentinians. Wait, I hear you Argentinians. I hear you Augusta. I mean, not Augusta, but the Australians. I understand I knocked Lubin out. He want to prove a point. I seen Jerry Hurd then got knocked out twice or beat twice. I know all the smoke. I see y'all tooting y'all trains when I walk by. Baby, I'm looking good. I see your little light boys coming up from the 147. You got a little name and you're making your name for yourself. Your Crawfords. Now your Crawford. My dog live in Omaha. I know how Omaha roll. Y'all ain't never seen no real shit like this shit here. Now I like Omaha. They some studs over there. Now I got highly respect for all of them. But nigga, you got some real business to handle with them other 147 pounders. Y'all gotta go out, get out the way to mess with me first. We don't know how many fights we got left. I'm not here to chase that. I'm here to chase one thing, and that's to become undisputed champion of the world at a high weight division. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it at 160. I don't know if I'm doing it at 154. But right now at 154, I'm that guy. And I've been here domaining for all of these years. It's time they put some respect on my name in the boxing world. And I'm going to stand up for who I am. And I'm going to stand up for what I represent. Now, listen, I sure wish I could be the guy to fight Canelo. Canelo, come to 158. I can easily make 158. And I'll put a boxing lesson on him just as great as Floyd Mayweather did, the great, you know. I mean, I didn't say it all. Now, I don't understand what they got going on, but just, pay me my bread. My brother could fight him at 160 and whatever the case is, and all these other guys. I'm the 54 champion, baby. Not the other one. But you know what? I'll put these hands on any one of these motherfuckers. Straight up.
Let's talk about that because, obviously you got the fight with Castano, and you said that you want to be the undisputed champion. So you feel at 154, that's the last line of business for you before you think about your future, whether it's moving up or what have you. But yes, you alluded to it. But Crawford already said, hey, look, Errol Spence, I've been wanting that fight for the longest. If he don't want to fight me, then I want to fight Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano winner. What's your take on that?
How about he do what's best and go fight Errol Spence then? Shut up, take a little bit less money, be quiet, humble yourself, and fight Errol Spence, he a stud. Do what he say, and then you might be the challenger sometimes. These people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to be the challenger. That's his problem. He think he too high up on the horse. Bob Arum don't give a damn about him. Bob Arum told him to his face. He done got lawsuits with his own promoter. You ain't worth shit to me, for real. That mean the man didn't really care about you anyways. You should have just shut up, made the right decision with your people that love you, and then do what you gotta do. Like, it's not my fault that you can't. Hey, they got some studs though. Al Heyman only gonna sign the best of the best to me personally. You got Ennis, you got Garcia, you got Thurman, you got people making a name for themselves in your own weight division. Sit your ass in your weight division and see if you can beat one of them. Cause fucking with me, you gonna get knocked the fuck out. I'm a knockout artist, baby. I ain't here to play no games and I don't get paid for overtime. So it's cool, run around with your family and love your family, bro, because this is all we doing it for. We're doing it for our family, but I take it all personal. This is a personal sport to me because I'm the only one in that ring when I get ready to match him up. So I don't see him beating me with the skills that I have and how hard I really go and how hard I train and what I really get in myself. He barely doing the stuff that I was doing in 2010. They don't even have a system over there. Errol Spence right now is the most dominant 147 pounder that they got. Because why? He proved himself. He done beat everybody in the division that he can. He steady stepping on top of everything that he could throughout injuries, throughout tragic situations. Look at Errol Spence Jr. Now look at me at 154. I've been through some things as well. It ain't never compete with what Earl been through. I try to keep my head on straight, but I'm trying everything I can. But I don't know what the future for me is on moving up because my twin brother is at 160. You see, we the three Bash brothers. And then what you gotta say?
Yeah, what happens then with what happens with Jermall? Because it seems like the bigger fights at 168. Now, listen, we know that he and Canelo were trying to work out a fight, but it it appears that maybe Canelo's going to do the Bivol and then maybe Triple G again at 168. Do you think the future for Jermall is at 168? Whether it's Benavidez, whether it's Caleb Plant, do you think that's his future at 168?
Well, I know my brother need the best fights for him right now. It don't look as interesting as 154 and 147. The division could be really shaken up a little bit with the BS that they got going on. You got Andrade. He don't know what he want to do with his life. This boy been running around since 2014. Now I'm thinking like, bro, 2 more years, you've been playing hopscotch, in boxing. So we can't even count on Andrade to even accept a fight. So we don't even care about him. Then you make me want to tell my brother to go and call out some of them guys that Canelo's calling out. Knock them off. If you knock them off, then he ain't got no choice but to say, you know what, let's go and accept that 100 million. I heard that's what it was. I can't confirm anything. But Canelo, you was a stud. You're a little fast, short little motherfucker. You go hard. But let's see. We here to fight for our families. You beat me, you better than me. Okay, cool. Can we prove that? Now it's a reason why. And I don't know the reason why they making a decision. But how about they split that same contract with the other guys? Be your free agent that you are, accept one fight deals, go on and move on with your life because you never even know what's next. Why you want to accept 10 fights and 5 fights and 4 fights? You already the king of your division. You the undisputed champion at where you at and where I'm trying to become. I'm not accepting, and when I become that way, I'm accepting that same money for a 1 fight deal. Now they can do that possibly, and I'm not trying to make nobody else pay no extra money, but I really believe that if my brother want that fight, like he said, what do my brother need to do? Go out on Instagram talking stupid to the Canelo fan. Canelo, you got a lot of fans, and we love it. We love the fan base you got. You redhead motherfucker. You been knocking motherfuckers out. Bite, bite, bite. Now what? Now do you retire, or do you take one of the toughest fights of your career against a young black African-American stud who's been working his ass off since he was 8 years old? Do my brother put it out on the line then? So if not, then come see me. I want some smoke. I want it all, baby. So I'm trying to spend my time with you, Brian.
Listen, I appreciate it. Let me ask you this. You talk about Errol, and I'll be remiss if I didn't get your opinion. Listen, he's got your Dennis Ugas. Ugas knocks off Pacquiao, and now the winner of that fight will have 3 of the belts at 147. What do you think is going to happen between Spence and Ugas?
See, right now, Ugas smelling his piss. When you got you got a little teenager, and he grow from a 11-year-old. He ain't a teen yet. Then he turned to a 12-year-old. Then you got a Ugas. To me personally, can't sustain what Earl Spence come to the table with. I don't give a fuck what none of them think about or say. Ugas, Earl Spence is a very, very dominant puncher. He can't be stopped right now. Like, he showed himself approved. I don't believe none of that stuff that they doing is gonna be, he boom, 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 boom. That boom, boom, boom is what they don't want. Earl Spence is that guy. He know how to close a fight. He know how to be active on punches. He know how to keep punching. It's a lot going on with Ugas. And Ugas living a life right now. Yeah, you beat Pacquiao. Pacquiao was really done anyways. He wasn't coming back. We know that. But you can ask, man, listen, man. Errol Spence is the guy right now. And Ugas don't stand a chance with him. If y'all don't even know this by now, Errol Spence can move around the ring. Errol Spence can fight in the inside. He can throw the dominant body shots. And I just don't see 12 rounds happening with Ugas and Earl Spence. I see Earl Spence becoming the dominant guy and putting a mark on that BS. He closed out the division. Now he got some studs in his division. He got some young guys coming up, and he got some old guys still trying to make a name for themselves. And what I seen from Keith Thurman, that's not enough. That's not enough. Barrios came from a little way to try to get and gave him a tough fight. I need to see more from Thurman. Um, man, yo, hey, yeah, it's just the rule of boxing. Now that in this motherfucker, he can fight. He tough, but he got to make his name for himself. He got to keep building himself up. He a stud. He can go. He can fight. We just got to see a little bit more from him. Danny Garcia, we don't know where he at. He seemed like he in the same position as her. They done lost a couple fights right back to back. I don't know when the last time he didn't fought. They got family stuff going on. I don't know what they got going on. But I do remember Danny Garcia being that guy. I ain't gonna say he wasn't compatible to some of the top guys. Making 154 where you think it's light at, you gotta get in line, homeboy. They ain't forgot they gotta get in line for him and all of them. They gotta get in line. I'm not finna just, oh yeah, because you was once that guy at the division. You can't just, man, look, hey, I make the decisions for myself. And I don't feel like if it's right, it ain't right. We're gonna try to make the best fights happen where the fans can come out and the fans want to be there to see the fight happen. So he ain't on my horizon. I got Brian Castano. That's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? To me, Brian Castano #2. I want to see it happen. I want to see what myself is capable of. I've been grinding so hard, and so I never stopped grinding since the last fight. I let myself down July 17th. Now I didn't stud up to the plate. I feel I'm very capable of destroying him more than I ever destroyed any other fighter. And if they're using a bicep injury, I will give you a real bicep injury. And so if that's what you want, come get your injury. I'm gonna knock you the fuck out, and then I'm gonna move on to what's next in my life, in my career, or whatever going on. Hopefully I'm next to you. We doing interviews to these motherfuckers. That's Sean Porter talk his crazy shit. You see, he quit the game. He can't take no more of this. It's that type of game in this world right now. Boxing. It's the truth. Errol Spence is the truth. I'm the truth. My brother is
Yeah,
the truth.
and listen,
Hey,
and
one more
so
thing.
to wrap this up,
Benavidez, wait,
sure,
can I tell you, Benavidez cannot see my brother. I
really,
believe that's a very great fight right now. Benavidez and Caleb Plant for my twin brother is what will bring back that Charlo hate that they've been giving us. Just saying.
you don't. I think there's a number of people who believe that Benavidez Charlo fight would be an all action brawl.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Well, I like Benavidez' heart. I like his style. I like how he relentless on his punching. I feel like personally, Benavidez would be better at heavyweight. He's a big old motherfucker. He fights out of his weight division. He's just beating on little motherfuckers. Like for real, let's keep it real. Benavidez is not really a 168 pounder. He can fight any of the 189 cruiserweight or even heavier. That's real his weight, and then he'll get a better challenge. 160, a 160 pounder coming to 168 to fight a Benavidez, to me personally, is just like, you still picking on a smaller guy. He will never get the respect until he fights somebody at the top over there at his actual weight. Fill out. I say fill out and become your guy. Be the big guy. You don't gotta wrap it up either, baby. I'm here for you. I'm here to tell you what the truth is. So, because I'm at the top of the pinnacle in my division, so it's no lies being told. I'm only speaking the facts of what I believe. But Benavidez is a great fight for my twin brother because that's another. Hey, you gotta move your head. You gotta box. You gotta stiff him, hit him with some hard shots, and maybe knock him out. So we don't get the crowd involved. You gotta right now for people like me, Earl, all of these fighters, Black African American fighters, we have to fight past the crowd right now. This is the year of 2022, and we have to fight past the crowd.
What would a Charlo Caleb Plant fight look like?
A wash. My brother knocks him out. Then they're gonna say, "Oh, you just knocked out the same guy Canelo knocked out." Like, what would we say? We would say, Yeah, okay. Canelo destroyed him already. So then Caleb Plant can box, he can move. But you know what? Caleb Plant, Benavidez. Caleb Benavidez is too big. You know, it's like, man, tell him to go to 160 and be the champion and fight. Tell Caleb Plant go fight somebody else. To me, he's not as much of an interesting fight for my twin brother. I just don't like the fight for my twin brother because it's like he's another high, a risk, but it's just a tough fight. We can knock him out and get him out the way. Yeah, just to shut him up. But then don't y'all want to see, you know, the Canelos and the Benavidez and the Charlos and the top tier, the Belleville, whatever his name is, and the Arthur guy. You want to see them fights right now. Like when you talk big weight divisions. I'm just
You're
speaking
absolutely,
facts now.
absolutely.
Don't take what I'm saying
You are.
and take it and hope the fans don't take what I'm saying and try to make an excuse for what I'm saying. I ain't making an excuse for my brother. I'm not making an excuse for myself. I'm a warrior. I want the best, and I want my brother the best, but I also want the best for us as well, and I want a fair shake.
And given that in this rematch with Castano, do you see Jermell Charlo stopping Brian Castano this time around?
I do. I see myself stopping him, um, for sure. For sure. And it's not because I overtrain. It's not because no other excuses. Just because I got my mind right now. And I just don't know when we'll get in the ring, but I'm ready to get in the ring right now. I'm in shape. I'm on weight. Um, I'm 164. I just got to drop 10 pounds. They could tell me that I could still fight March 19th, which I prepared for. I haven't stopped training since they complained about the little injury. And I just want a fair shake now. A lot of people don't know what I went through, even with dealing with Brian Castano. And I dealt with a lot with him. Like I said, he got the same manager as is the same guy that tried to take Madonna gloves and make Marcos Madonna and his coach. I mean, the gloves aren't right for Mayweather. They don't weigh the same. They do anything to try to get into their opponent's head. This ain't gonna work for me. I'm dead hard on this training. I'm serious about my fight, and I just want to see what I can put myself through at the top tier.
And once you become the undisputed champion at 154, what's next? What is the next big goal for Jermell Charlo?
I might want to shut up another hater. Maybe knock out another hater just to do it. Generate some wealth for myself. And my brother is at
Who's that hater?
160 and he's domain.
Who's that hater? You say I might want to knock out another. Who's that hater?
I got a lot of them. I got some haters. I'm gonna just put them on the list. I don't know which one. You can name them all. You can name the haters that's coming up in the division. You can name the haters that's always. You got Lubin. You got Hurd. You got Danny Garcia. They hating on me. You got the whole little 9 yards. They all hate me. I got respect for Danny. He's been in the game for a long time. I used to watch him when he was younger in the amateurs. But right now, at the position right now is me. And I feel like there's nothing that I can do. Sorry, I moved my camera. There's nothing that I can do other than just be patient, let these boys keep talking that smack, and me be who I am. Damn, phone number falling. I mean, my bad. Look, I want to fight any one of the guys that's just hating on me. You did. That's all I mean by haters. I don't necessarily know who.
Got it.
It could be somebody that I never even met before. But, I think it's time for me to be pound for pound list. I don't care about that, okay? All right, let me tell you one thing. I don't care about no pound for pound list. If they really want to know who the pound for pound is, how about y'all submit the top 100 boxers and let them give y'all the pound for pound list. And then y'all go in and average it out. That's pound for pound to me. Ain't no unit in boxing. There's no unity in this thing. So y'all got some Ring magazine and these fake ass ESPN, these fake ass people all making up, oh, this the pound for pound. At the end of the day in boxing, there's no real pound for pound because it was all made up through whoever somebody else said. People that hate on the next person, people that boycott that person and boycott that person. Andrade's a great fighter. He just made the wrong decisions in boxing. So, of course, he's not pound for pound. But, you see, he can probably beat some of the guys in the top. We can't be judgmental. We got to be focused on what's right. And Canelo definitely to me is number one pound for pound. Like he's proved himself. He's beat a lot of people. He's consistently fighting. It's a lot of reasons why a lot of these boxers in this day and era, Clarissa Shields, she's done everything she can for women boxing. She should be up in the top, regardless of her gender and whatever she done. And I believe like Javante Davis is pound for pound to me. Devin Haney could be at the lower pound for pound. He doesn't have all the fights to prove it, but he's done it. Earl Spencer's in the top. Terence Crawford won all of the belts before. So he definitely could be up in the top lower level. Myself definitely. I would definitely put me right in them like 3 or 4 or somewhere around at 4 or 5 up in the top pound for pound. The Estrada guy, Chocolito got beat by him by a few times. Chocolito was up there, but this is 2022. Let's see what them haters put on the table now. They didn't want to judge you off of, that's why I like being on this show because I get to really speak tell the truth. I know you got to go, Brian. I don't want to hold you up too long.
That's what this platform's all about.
Yeah.
No,
that's
what this platform is all about.
And they got some guys on the upcoming. They got some guys on the upcoming. They got Ennis. And then, Lubin trying to prove himself. He fighting 6'6", and they got to do what they got to do. And I mean, my twin brother has a lot more to prove than I do because he needs to get that name. And I want him to fight. Benavidez then fought a lot of people. He beat Andre Durrell. He done fought some studs over there as well. So the dude Arthur that beat Marcus and stuff, these guys have proven they might need to take the pound for pound list and make it look like who the ones that stop motherfuckers and drop motherfuckers and really knock them out, not just beat them. It's a lot of boxing going on out here lately.
It's a good point, man. Listen, I know there are a lot of fans who want to see you back in the ring. They were certainly looking forward to the rematch with Castano, and hopefully it gets put back together and that it happens real soon. I appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you, taking the time and talking with us. And Mel, I'm always a big fan of you and your brother, and I can't wait to see you guys back in the ring.
I'll be back soon. I'll be back as soon as Brian Castano stop all this cap.
I love it. Folks, listen, that's what we do here on The Last Stand. We bring you the biggest names in the sport, and I'm telling you, at 154, it don't get no bigger than Jermell Charlo, the unified and lineal world champion. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again next week.